Hey folks, hey folks, hey folks, Levi here once again. Welcome back to another review, another superhero review. I hope you enjoyed my review of Deadpool. Sorry if you guys didn't see me in a while. It's just been I've been working, so they try to make the money. Gotta have the money, gotta have a paycheck. And YouTube doesn't pay the bills, so it's just life in general. Anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed my review of Deadpool. Remember, it's Levi McNally, 983. That's my YouTube channel name. Well, in my name, and the mask profile picture. Remember, stay subscribed to this channel. You can watch videos on the one with the Batman mask, my other channel, Batman Mask of the Phantasm one, a profile picture on that. But don't subscribe to that one. Stay sub to this one, the one that has the mask profile picture on it. And what I've been doing, guys, is a superhero marathon on my YouTube channel. I've been doing what I call the 2010s era of superhero reviews. These are superhero movies that came out in the year 2000, 2010. I can't talk. 2010 decades, starting with 2010 to 2019. And now I'm on the year 20, and I'm now starting with the year 2016. This is the second movie, I believe. This one came out this came out in March. It's a DC movie. It is the second film in the DC Extended Universe. Yeah, at the time it was. It is, and that is starring Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Sybil, Amy Adams, Jesse Eisenberg, Holly Hunter, and that is created by Zack Snyder. Batman vs Superman or Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Which, to be honest, I was disappointed with this movie. I now look back on my other channel. I defended this movie. I thought it was going to be really great. I did a video a long time ago called on my other channel called DC Films I Want to See, and this was one of them. I used that for a profile pic because I was really excited for this movie, and I even defended Ben Affleck. I know people gave him a lot of hate. I liked him as Daredevil, but I would rather say Daredevil was better than this, in the Red Cut especially. I know this has an Ultimate Edition. It says on here, you can probably read it on the bottom, but I'll read it. It says the theatrical version and extended cut, they're on the Blu-ray disc, but for the DVD, it's just the theatrical version, you know. But either way, I can care or watch that. The theatrical version that you saw in the movie theaters is 151 minutes long, and the Ultimate Edition is 182 minutes long, which I'm not planning to watch. It's just, I really don't care. I'm not gonna say this is a rant, probably review slash rant. I don't know yet. But honestly, I did not care for this movie. When I saw it in theaters, I was excited to see it. But I was even in theaters. I was disappointed seeing it, and I didn't. I wasn't a fan. And to be honest, after rewatching it to prepare for this review, I didn't care for this movie. Now I don't hate it like most people do, but I can understand why they do. And there's things that does piss me off a little bit, so it might be a bit of a rant too. But I want to fully let you know I don't hate this movie. There are things I do like about it, but this was such a letdown of a movie. I mean, this was a sequel to Man of Steel, Fall of Man of Steel, which it didn't need to be. It should have just been a Batman movie. It's just this movie was a mess of a movie. And I'll get into why later, but let's get into production of how this film came to be, okay? But like I said, I supported the movie back then. I remember the toys. I remember the little, the Batman mask that Batman wears from like The Dark Knight Returns comic book. That's what he wears in the movie. Can't see it though, but this is the suit that Batman wears. You've probably seen like the posters of Ben Affleck as Batman and the Dark Knight Returns, suit to fight Superman. Anyway, in development for in the early 2000s, Warner Brothers wanted to reboot the Superman film series with an origin story. In August 2001, Andrew Kevin Walker was hired after pitching the studio an idea titled Batman vs Superman, attaching Wolfgang Peterson as director, which would have been interesting. He directed In the Line of Fire, Outbreak, Air Force One, The Perfect Storm, Poseidon remake, which film? Oh, he directed The Never Ending Story, which he's a good director. I like this guy as a director. I love those movies. Yeah, yeah. Really good films. It's a shame they didn't get him to do it. But Walker's Draft was thought off too dark by the studio, who hired Advocate Goldsman to do a rewrite, which contained codenamed Asylum. Warner Brothers wanted Johnny Depp as Batman and Josh Hartnett as Superman. Filming was to start in early 2003 with plans for a 5 to 6 month shoot, and a release date was set for the summer 2004. In late 2002, Peterson, however, put the project on hold to make Troy. In August 2008, the studio's president of production, Jeff Robin, admitted he had Superman worked 2006, which was Superman Returns, but that was not a big hit of a movie. What would have a movie for Christmas of this year, 2009? The other plan is just reintroduce Superman without regarding to a Batman Superman film. After Zack Snyder said, after Man of Steel finished and we started talking about what would be the next movie, I started simply mentioning that it would be cool if he faced Batman. You were in a story meeting talking about it, like who would Superman fight? About the Shining Sod, who is basically his physical equal match from his planet, fighting on his star. You know who to fight next. But I'm not gonna say at all that won the job to do Man of Steel what they did in a subversive way to get Batman. I really believe that only after completing who could face did Batman come into the picture. That's when Snyder had the idea to bring Batman in. In June 2013, around the time of Man of Steel was released, the studio announced that director Zack Snyder, screenwriter David Esquire, would return for a sequel, with the studio considering a 2015 release date. The following month, Snyder confirmed at San Diego Comic Con that the follow-up Man of Steel will be vs. Superman, featuring Superman and Batman meeting for the first time on film. Goyer and Snyder would co-write the story, and Goyer would write the script. Christopher Nolan was involved and was as a producer. Snyder and Nolan considered having Man of Steel share continuity with the Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, but decided against it, given that The Dark Knight Rises ended it with John Blake, who was not Robin, by the way, and Batman either, taking over as Batman. No, Snyder, I hate that movie more than this, to be honest. Snyder agreed that connection between the two franchises could have complicated things. For Batman vs. Superman, audiences will completely commonly expect to see Bruce Wayne slug it out with Superman instead of a different character using the Batman aliases. According to Snyder, the film would take inspiration from the comic Dark Knight Returns. November 2013, Snyder clarified his film would be based upon the aforementioned graphic novel. If you were doing that, you would need a different Superman. We bring Batman to the universe that now the Superman lives in. The film marks the first appearance of Wonder Woman live action, played by Gadot, whatever. Warner Brothers have been developing its for since 1996. And in December 2013, Chris Terry was hired to rewrite the script. Due to Gore's commitments to other projects, further committing only to the influences, Terry revealed that the film would draw inspiration from Nolan's Batman trilogy, which contrasts of normal people's life with the epic struggles of mythical figures. According to him, in superhero stories, Batman is Pluto, the god of the underworld, and Superman is Apollo, god of the sky. That began to be really interesting to me. The conflict is not just due to manipulation. The Joker and the Riddler were supposed to appear in the film, but Snyder ultimately decided to cut them out from the final script. Batman vs. Justice was revealed to be revealed in May 2014. The title. Snyder explained that having V instead of versus was a way to keep it from a straight versus movie. Even the most Henry Cavill later stated, "I wouldn't call this a Superman sequel. This is a Batman vs. Superman movie. It's separate entirely altogether. It's introducing the Batman character and expanding upon the universe, which was kicked off by Man of Steel." Forbes noted that although the film originated as a sequel to Man of Steel, it was revamped to a backdoor pilot for Justice League, an eventual standalone Batman movie. As part of the settlement, which, I think Ben Affleck was actually planning to do a Batman movie. Yeah. This is the first Batman production that lists Bill Finger as a co-creator. In April 2021, Terry revealed that his script was never titled Beavis Superman. Snyder indicated that the name of the film was decided by studio executives that he would fought, and that he fought for the aberration of the word versus in the title. But it stars that wanted included Justice League Foundations, Justice League Rising, and Son of Sun, and Night of Night. Yeah, and you have the cast here at I guess, the San Diego Comic Con. That is Cindy Gravel and Ben Affleck. I think Amy Adams, Gal Gadot, and Jesse Eisenberg and Jeremy Irons. Yeah, I think that's Diane Lane and director Zack Snyder all talking about the film. For cast, no, Henry Gravel, Amy Adams, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, Lawrence Fishburne, Henry Lux, they all respire their roles from Man of Steel. The joint cast, you have Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, Jeremy Irons as Alfred. You have Ray Fisher and Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller as Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman, just making cameos. Um, Don Johnson's Affleck's second film as a comic book superhero. He played Daredevil in 2003 film with the same name. He was generally reluctant to accept playing Batman, that he felt he didn't fit the traditional mold, but he became excited after Snyder showed him the concept and reassured him that the film would be different from Nolan's trilogy. Snyder cast an older Batman to be layered against the younger Superman, while bearing the scars of a seasoned crime fighter, retaining the charm that would in Billionaires of Bruce Wayne. Nolan was involved with the casting of Affleck, and he was the first actor Snyder approached for the part. Ryan Gosling, Matthew Good were all considered. The director also discussed the part with Josh Brolin. Christian Bale admitted that he wanted to play Batman again after Dark Knight Rises, though he said that Batman does not belong in any other film, and he was never approached by Warner Brothers to play the role again. But I kind of disagree with that because I think, well, from what I heard, Christian Bale said, after Dark Knight Rises, he was done. Now, if Nolan directed it, he probably would have done it. When casting Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, Snyder offered, just seeing the role allows us to explore that interesting dynamic and now take the character in some new and unexpected directions. Producer Charles Roven revealed that his incarnation of Wonder Woman would use the character's origins from 2011's New 52 reboot of the DC continuity, where the character will be the demigoddess and daughter of Zeus. The Divas from the character's original origins, where she was a clay figure brought to life by the gods. Jamie Alexander was even considered. She played Sylph, Lady Sylph, in the Thor movies. Were considered for the role of Wonder Woman before Gal Gadot was cast. Dawn Justice is Ray Fisher's feature film debut, first live-action film to feature Cyborg, whose role was to become more in future DC comic films. It's also the live-action debut of Aquaman. The casting of Affleck, Gadot, and Eisenberg were criticized. Now, I don't get what I could agree with Jesse Eisenberg completely, but Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot, no, I don't agree. Affleck's cast caused ballast from comic book fans. Really? Why? He's a good actor. Yeah, yeah. Petitions demanding his removal from the role. Unlike previous Batman actors, he was not considering intim- intimidating enough for the role by the protesters. They said the same thing about Michael Keaton, I bet. Hmm. People, when Batman 89 came out, people bitched about that. Oh. Way back to the news was news. Defending the choice of Ben Affleck's Batman, I'll let the one speak for itself. Fans criticized Gadot's small frame to Wonder Woman's warrior-like build in the comics. Gadot said that she had been participating in training to achieve a body that stays close to the source material. Fans also criticized Eisenberg's casting, feeling that the 30-year-old was too young for the role, not physically posing enough. Both Affleck and Ayoda received considerable praise for their performances, despite the overall negative perception of the film itself. Michael Winscott described his duties as costume designer. He updated Superman still, so that it feels fresh and right off the installment as that centers comic universe. The first Batsuit pictured in the film is influenced by the Dark Returns. Unlike the suit seen in previous live-action Batman films, it's made of cloth and armor and is a cast of physical fitness model. And imagine a wonderful costume. And you can even tell Ben Affleck worked out a bit just to do this movie. The second best suit was over at Comic Con. Larry French wrote the crew as the cinematographer, having previously worked with Snyder and 300 Watchmen and Sucker Punch. The scene of the state funeral, National Cemetery Park tribute for the United States, was actually filmed in Michigan as well, using green screen. At the end of the month, construction began on the Camp Farm scene in Man Steel for the film. Film began in Chicago, Illinois in November 2014. The music score was done by Hans Zimmer and Jackie Alex. For the marketing of the movie, I do remember, the trailer and the posters of Ben Affleck as Batman and Returns Batman suit. That mechanical suit that he wears was kind of like an armor suit he wears to fight Superman. Or the posters for Wonder Woman. Yeah, and they had toy commercials for the Batmobile and Batman and Superman's toys. Let's see. Yeah. You had the Batman vs. Superman, the voice. I do remember the little toy here. Yeah. Batman. Yeah. They even had a commercial about it. Yeah. Because again, this film was marketed heavily because it's the first time we've seen Batman and Superman in live action for the first time together. Not the first time on film together, but in live action. And yeah, fans, DC fans who, like me, I'm a big fan of Batman. As you can tell in the Batman shirt, I love Batman. And Superman as well. They're both DC great characters in my opinion. And yeah, you want to see them in live action. Yeah. Then for the toys, yeah, that's one of the toys in the movie. That's one of the suit Batman wears in the film. Yeah. And I remember before I started my job at Goodwill, I remember it was my auntie and grandma, I think. They took me to go to this Goodwill where I had to do orientation. We went shopping afterwards, I think, or before. I don't remember. I remember seeing some bags and stuff that had Batman vs Superman stuff on it. Yeah. But the marketing was crazy for this film. Uh, Choppa even have an airplane. You, probably can't see here, help marketing the movie. So this was a heavily marketed movie as well. And I think Warner Brothers partnered with Elmet to give fans who donate a chance to win the ultimate version of the experience. Yeah, they went to premiere the film as well as a flying helicopter with Cavill or riding the Batmobile with Affleck. I remember Ben Affleck riding a Batmobile and seeing some kids say like, "How you doing?" Something like that. Yeah. And if you remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, I think Amy Adams and Henry Cavill in the Superman suit, they did that. There is a director's cut of the movie. It's about 31 minutes longer. Some people say the director's cut is a big improvement. Yeah. Yeah, this one was not well received, I don't think, when it came out. Ben Affleck even said compared Eisenberg's performance to that of Heath Ledger in Dark Knight. Critics lambasted Ivers. I don't blame him. Yep. And for the cast of the movie, you have Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne Batman. Oh, by the way, I should mention I did do a Batman marathon and Superman marathon on my YouTube channel. And tonight, I'm gonna get time. Hopefully, I'm gonna share those videos on this new channel. Yeah, because this movie should be part of my Superman marathon and Batman marathon. So anyway, for the cast of the movie, you have Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne Batman. He's a villain of Social Night, owner of Wayne Enterprises. Dedicates to protecting Gotham City from its criminals. Otherwise, a highly trained mass vigilante called Batman. Ben Affleck, like I said, comic book character. He played Daredevil in 2003, which was from Marvel, and he was good in that. I thought. Good Will Hunting. He wrote that movie, wrote that script, which originally was going to be a thriller, but they turned it into drama instead with the late Robin Williams. That was a great movie, which he did get I think get an Academy Award for that. Armageddon, Bruce Willis and Liv Tyler. He was good in that. Reindeer Games. I like to admit I didn't care for that movie though. Yeah, I think this movie he did I like called No Way Back. That was a good film. Then you have Henry Cavill coming, responding as Rose Clark Kent Superman, a Metropolis-based Kryptonian survivor, journalist for the Daily Planet, who, is Clark Kent, hiding his identity. Henry Cavill. I liked him as Superman and Man of Steel. I liked him in The Man from Uncle. Wasn't big on that movie. I liked him in Mission Impossible 6 Fallout, where he was the villain in that movie. I do think of Henry Cavill as a good actor. He is, in my opinion. And I liked him in Man of Steel. Here, in my opinion, differs on him. And Amy Adams is Lois Lane. A report for the Daily Planet and love interest with Clark Kent. Amy Adams, she was in an episode of Smallville. I think it was called Craving. That episode was called. Let's see. I'm not gonna look it up, but she was in Man of Steel, The Fighter with Christian Bale was in that. Yeah, and of course the first Man of Steel movie. Yeah, Smallville episode was called Craving. Jodie, I remember her in that. And she did Justice League and Snyder Justice League, coming back as Lois Lane for the last time in those movies. And Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor. An eccentric young businessman inherited CEO of Lex Luthor Corp. He's obsessed with defeating Superman. Never been a fan of Jesse Eisenberg. I'm sorry. I don't mind him in Zombieland, but I've always thought Jesse Eisenberg was an overrated actor. Never cared for this guy as an actor, but that's just me. And you have the beautiful Diane Lane as Martha Kent, Clark's adopted mother. I remember she was in movies like The Perfect Storm. I think that I've seen her Let Him Go with which she also played in that movie with Kevin Costner. Uh, the last house, I think the movie was called. Yeah, and Horrible with Keanu Reeves, but she's always been a good actress in my opinion. Lois Fishburne as Perry White, the editor in chief of the Daily Planet, and Clark and Lois's boss. Lois Fishburne, good actor. He was in some of the John Wick movies. I think the fourth one too, and John Wick 2 and 3, and of course, I believe the fourth movie. The Matrix. He was in those movies. Yeah, Mystic River, Passengers, which also came out the same year as this. I like that movie. That's an underrated film in my opinion. Jeremy Irons, Alfred Pennyworth, Bruce Wayne's butler, chief of security, and trusted confidant. Jeremy Irons, if you know Disney, he voiced Scar in The Lion King, and he was in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah, and Holly Hunter as Joan Finch, United States Senator from Kentucky, has a political argument on Superman and his actions. Holly Hunter, if you want to see a superhero movie, The Incredibles, voicing Elastigirl, Helen Parr, and The Incredibles 1 and 2, and a movie called Always with Richard Dreyfuss and John Goodman. Or Brother Where Are Thou, or George Clooney. Funny enough, Clooney did play Batman. But beautiful woman and a good actress in my opinion. Gal Gadot as Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. She's a immortal Amazon warrior who's the crown princess of Themyscira. Gal Gadot, I think the first movie I ever saw her in was, I didn't like the movie, but fast forward, that was the first movie I seen her in. And of course, she was going to play Wonder Woman again in Justice League and Wonder Woman in 2017. I think that was after her role. Yeah. Oh, Fast Forward was the first movie. And I saw her in that movie. She was good in that. And Fast Five and Fast Six, she was good in those films. And Fury Seven. She's good as Wonder Woman. She played Wonder Woman again in Wonder Woman 2017 film, which came out the next year after this, and Justice League, and had a cameo in The Flash. Yeah, and she's Fury of the Gods. And Scott McCreery, as well as Keith, an amateur employee of the Wayne Enterprises who crippled during the Church of Troubles and holds Superman responsible. He was in a monsters like a movie called Monsters. Speaking of evil, I think he was in a movie called Aftermath with Arnold. Yeah, let's see if I can find it. Yep, he was. Was he in? I'm trying to look. Okay, yeah, he was in Unstoppable Lemmy Neeson. I remember him in that. Colin McCreary as Antoine, a Russian terrorist who works for Luther. Basically, he was in Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Endgame. And Tokyo Amok as Mercy Graves, Assistant Luther. I think she was, let's see, well, The Wolverine, which came out in 2013. Yeah. Robin at Quinn Downs performed the motion capture voice work for the creature of the film's climax, Doomsday. Yeah. And there will be spoilers in this review. And like I said, Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, they all make cameos as Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. Yeah. And the film is directed by Zack Snyder. Now, Zack Snyder, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's a horrible director. I love Watchmen. Watchmen, I think, is a great movie. It's long, but it's really good. And I do like Man of Steel, yes, sue me. I do enjoy that movie. I think he did a movie called Dawn of the Dead, but I've never seen Dawn of the Dead remake. 300 I've seen, but I think that's an overrated movie. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. And then he worked on Suicide Squad or executive producer, which I think that's even much worse after this. And he worked on some of the DC movies. Yeah. It's written by Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer. Of course. I don't like David S. Goyer's writing. Yeah. Okay, first of all, I just want to say I don't dislike him. He did write some good movies I like Death Warrant Kick. Well, Kickboxer 2 was okay. But Death Warrant with Van Damme, I like that movie. Uh, The Crow City of Angels, meh. Just man. I'm not too big a fan of that movie. First of all, he wrote TV movie. I think he also wrote Nick Fury, Agent of Shield. Let's see. He was an executive producer on Ghost Rider. I didn't know that. Uh, he wrote the first two Blade movies, Blade 1 and 2, and he directed Blade Trinity, which I do hate. He wrote the Dark Knight trilogy, which again, I'm not a big fan of those movies, and yeah, he also wrote the script for Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, which I hate. So yay. And Man of Steel, which I like the film. I know it does take a bit of a darker tone in that movie, but I like Man of Steel, yes. But Terminator Dark Fate, I don't like a film, I'm not gonna like that movie. And Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, yeah, he wrote this, and he's not the best writer in my opinion. The best superhero movies I think he's ever wrote was the first two Blade movies and Man of Steel, in my opinion. Chris Terrio, let's see. Films did he write? Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, that's not because that was such a great movie. Argo was Ben Affleck starring that? Yeah. Did you see that movie? Damages. I guess it's a TV show anyway. Based on characters created from DC. Produced by Charles Roven. He's produced films like since the '80s, since like Made in USA, Heart Like a Will, Johnny Handsome, Cadillac Man, 12 Monkeys with Bruce Willis, City of Angels, Scooby-Doo 2002, Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, Kicking and Screaming, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Ovnier, Uncharted, the movie that was based on the Uncharted games, which I heard not too good things about, and Deborah Snyder, which is she's Zack Snyder's wife. She's produced 300, Watchmen, Sucker Punch, and Man of Steel, and The Suicide Squad is a producer on that, and on Wonder Woman 1984 and Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Justice League. Yeah, cinematography by Larry Fong. Sorry, I can't say Larry Fong. Uh, he did the cinematography for 300, Watchmen, Now You See Me, Kong Skull Island, The Predator, edited by David Brenner. Did in films like Born on the 4th of July, The Doors, Night in the City, Heaven and Earth, The River Wild, which I enjoyed that movie, Fear, and Independence Day Fear. That was Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, okay, Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon. Independence Day, The Patriot, Identity, The Day After Tomorrow, The World Trade Center, Wanted, Avatar: The Way of Water. Music is by Hans Zimmer and Frankie LX. He's done music for films like Justice League, Divergent, Mad Max, Deadpool. I'm guessing the first Deadpool movie. Did some songs for that, I guess. Hans Zimmer. He did score for The Lion King. Love he scored to that, and he scored the Dark Knight trilogy, which I'm not too big on, and parts of the Caribbean films as well. And No Time to Die and Inception, I think. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. It was released March 25th, 2016. It's 152 minutes long, about 2 hours and 31 minutes long. And at 3 hours, I guess, is the ultimate cut. Budget is $325 million. Box office is $874.4 million worldwide, so it did make money. But it only made money because the marketing and stuff was crazy for it. Yeah. Alright, anyway, for the plot synopsis though, what the story of this film is about. I'll get to that, talk about the movie itself. And I get my thoughts on the movie. Hmm. That is the hell wrong with me. But anyway, the movie, like I said, it's a follow-up to Man of Steel, sequel, sorta, but it's not. Anyway, it takes place nearly 2 years. This film takes place 2 years after Man of Steel. That came out in 2013. So for the plot of the movie, it's been nearly 2 years since Superman's closest battle with Zod that devastated the city of Metropolis. The loss of life and critical damage left many feeling angry and helpless, including crime-fighting billionaire Bruce Wayne, who was of course, who was AKA Batman. This makes him mad enough to hate Superman and see Superman as a threat. And Superman sees Batman as a vigilante who thinks that he's above the law and that he does things illegally, and thinks that he's a murderer, a psychopath, a psycho. And he thinks the same as Superman. That Superman thinks he's all God and stuff. Yeah, people are conflicted on Superman in this movie, where they love him or they hate him or they think they look to Superman as God, but he's not. But anyway, he's convinced that Superman is a threat to humanity. Batman embarks on a personal vendetta to end his reign on Earth, while the conniving Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, launches his own crusade against the Man of Steel, which means his crusade is still basically, spoiler alert, he sets up the fight for Man of Steel. He creates, spoiler alert, Doomsday. And this involves, of course, Wonder Woman. And they must battle, they have to fight each other. It's an ultimate battle between these two. And at the end of the movie, they have to defeat Doom, take on Doomsday. Yeah. And that's the plot for you. Yeah. Like I said, I am conflicted on this movie, and my opinion is very mixed on it. Yeah. That it's just a very disappointing film, in my opinion, but I'll get to reasons why. Yeah. Now, I'll get into my problems later with the film, but right now I'm just going to talk about the plot synopsis. I mean, the story itself. I'm going to talk about the movie itself. Then I'm going to give my final opinion on the video. We're in West 2023. Okay. Yeah. I'll try to do a little bit more research again. I'll try on Sunday. I'm going to try. Anyway, the movie opens up with Bruce Wayne narrating, and you basically see, here's my number one issue. We see Bruce Wayne as a kid, running away from Alfred. I was like, come here, Bruce. Bruce is running, falls into the cave, and that's when you get the bats flying around him in the cave. It reminded me of Batman Forever, which I thought was done better, and Batman Begins. I'm not big on Batman Begins. I think it's an overrated movie, but the scene where the bats flying, Bruce is doing this, that was pretty cool. But Batman Forever was been my favorite version of that, with the giant bats flying to him, and it's very practical. It's just a shame we need it. I rather, you know what? I don't want to see the ultimate edition of this. I want to see the ultimate, the director's cut of the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. Yeah, we need that. I'd rather have that. So the film's turning 30. Why can't we just have that? But we have that. We see his parents die again. That dude plays his father. I think he played the comedian in Watchmen. Yeah. I hope you guys can hear me the whole time. Alright, just making sure the volume's turned up in this video. But anyway, uh, so we see his parents get shot again. Like, it's not a really. We don't need to see Batman's past. We know how Bruce Wayne became Batman. When Bruce was 8 years old, we've seen it in Tim. It's been in the comics. It's been in Tim Burton's Batman 1999. I don't care if Joker did it or not. You know, spoiler alert. Yeah, Joker killed his parents in Batman '89. But anyway, when he was Jack Napier. But anyway, I'm going off the rails here. We've seen it a bit in Batman Forever, Batman animated series. We know this. Stop showing us how. That's why I love the Batman though, because that film skips the origin. We didn't need that. You know. But rebooting Man of Steel Superman, they do change the story a bit. But this movie, they want to give us the Batman origin. We didn't need that in the beginning. But it starts off with Bruce witnessing the destruction of Wayne Tower during the Black Zero event when Zod's attacking, Superman's fighting. I like the point that he's trying to call somebody, call his friend Dan or something like that, trying to call him, and Dan says a prayer, he dies, and Bruce Wayne, saves this guy, um, who become a cripple, who would lose his legs because of the incident, would damage his legs so badly he had to have these legs amputated, and he saves his legs. He's like, "Where's your mom?" He's like, and he's like, hugs her, and I like how Bruce Wayne is just trying to save people. Yes, I know people blame destruction on Superman, but Superman did what he could. Superman was just starting out. Superman can't save everybody, sadly. You know. And it was kind of hard for him when he's got Kryptonians trying to kill him too, and he's fighting an army who has powers like him. Yeah. So there was going to be some damage. It was a war going on. Sometimes in war, people die. It just happens. And Superman can't save everybody. Tries to get the people evacuated, but it doesn't happen. Yeah. Basically, what I was trying to do was rebuild Krypton. If you see Man of Steel, by using this machine, this Black Zero machine, to dig a hole into the earth and it'd kill millions of people and it would have created Krypton. But Superman, of course, not from the. And the film then takes place 18 months later after that. They have these two divers that are in the Indian discovered. They discovered this large rock that is Kryptonite rock. Kryptonian, it's actually Kryptonite. Superman's world. Kryptonite, green Kryptonite is actually, which is Superman's weakness. It can kill him. Then you have Lois Lane coming back to travel. She's, you know, travels to war torn, taking an interview with an African warlord. Is like, why they send me a lady? He's like, I'm not a lady, I'm a journalist. I do like that that she's feisty and stuff. I don't like what they do with Lois Lane here, but I like that bit of feistiness. Oh yeah, she's coming with Jimmy Olsen, who's a photographer who was revealed to. Oh yeah, Jimmy Olsen is a CIA operative. Yeah, if you like Jimmy Olsen, yeah, he dies in here. Jimmy's apparently working with as a CIA operative. Like what? And he's played by the actor. This actor, if you've seen Smallville season 7, this TV show Smallville, if you remember Julian Luther, Lex's clone, he was Lex's clone brother in season 7. If you've seen that, anyway, he's just got the beard and he gets shot. So Jimmy, the CIA operative, for the CIA, he dies. Lois gets kidnapped by a guy. They blame it on her. Think she's involved. She's like, no, 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 no. And Jimmy dies. Wow. Okay. Apparently they didn't. The Snyder didn't care about Jimmy Olsen. Let's just shoot him off, kill him right away. Yeah, the body is Antoine. Superman arrives though. He's like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't. Superman, I'll leave that leaves that cool music, and Superman knocks him out. And Antoine shoots some guys, and there's a bullet, and tries to set Superman up. That he gets some people killed or whatever. This U.S. Senate committee headed by Senator Finch, played by Holly Hunter, she hears evidence about giving Superman saving the life of Lois Lane in Africa. She's concerned that Superman is may be seen by the public due to his constant acts of vigilantism. She sends a public announcement to Superman, running to speak in the committee to defend his actions at the Capitol of Washington. Yeah. My thing is though, Lois goes home, and I guess by now it's messed up. They're in a relationship and they're apparently living together. Clark wants to cook for her, and she's like, "Clark, we got to talk about what happened. They're talking bad about you, and maybe you should go public." He's like, "Well, I don't care what they're saying." I'm like, "Really?" I hated that he said that though. Superman Clark saying, "I don't care." It's like it reminds me of Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, when Superman was. I hate to say it, but Christopher Reeve Superman was a dick in that because he's like, "I don't care," you know. I just want to be Lobo Lois Lane. I'm like, yeah, yeah, of course. And of course, he talks to her about it, gives her a little red flower, jumps in the tub with her, makes out with her. So, instead of trying to, you would think maybe they should lighten Superman up a bit. But no, David Escobar and the writer, Chris Terrio, or whatever the writer's name was, and no one being involved, they want to make it dark and depressing. And I'm like, doing that with Superman just doesn't work. Now, Man of Steel, people would say that Man of Steel did something different. But when I got a sequel to the movie, I don't want that Superman again. I expect Superman to lighten up and be a happy chap. you know, true just an American way and smiling. This Superman's just person saying, I don't care about my actions. The woman I love is about to die. I get it, he wants to save his woman. But, dude, why don't you go to the community and talk as Superman? Superman would go to the public and talk and make a speech. Superman would do that. That he's here for peace. He's here to help and fight for truth and justice the American way. That's Superman. But no, this Superman would spend his time getting the bathtub and getting it on with Lois Lane, you know, doing this, and instead of doing more important things. Yeah. Of course, we know he didn't murder anybody, but they're setting him up for it. No. Yeah. And then we get to Gotham. These cops come, and he saves these group of young Asian women. I guess it's sex trafficking, and you know, cops look and says, "Who saved you?" Hey, the bat. The bat saved me. And they see Batman's batarang, and cop goes in there, and I like that how intense, scary it is. What I love about the suit though, the suit's really cool. It does remind me of the Dark Knight Return suit, which I love that. Batman, the cop just shoot Batman shoots away supernaturally. But this Batman, let me tell you, he can get with heat vision, a gun. He's fast enough to not be shot by a bullet. This Batman in this movie is supernatural. Anyway, yeah, he shoots this stupid heavy cop. He really shoots his partner. Stupid, stupid cop. Yeah, he's like, I seen him. Well, next time I'll blow my head off. And he leaves Santos, the guy that was tortured, with a bat friend. And this Batman here kills. Ugh. I like that we see Bruce in the Batcave, and Jamie, I was like, "Are we doing that now, sir?" Bat Brandon is like, "You got too dark, sir. You're going too much." And Batman thinks it's Bruce, and Bruce's mind, he thinks it's done right. Again, he's dark and brooding. I like that we see the suit. Ha ha! Jokes on you, Batman. That this Batman has been through a lot. Like I said, he's the Netflix Batman. He's much older Batman. He's been Batman for 20 years, and he's been through a lot. You know, a lot of emotions and stuff to get darker. Where he's more aggressive and you know willing to hurt or even kill his enemies if need be. I know people complain Batman doesn't kill, but he killed in Batman Returns, and Batman Returns he killed, and in the comic books, Batman even had a gun. Batman did kill in the comics. Again, Batman is dark and brooding, so you get that here. But then you see Clark watching the news or whatever, say that Superman has been in the presence. Ask him how he decides which lives count, which ones don't. Clark gets assigned in the Day Planet, working on the Day Planet. If you saw the Animan still, to cover the Gotham City Metropolis versus Gotham game, Underdog Dreams Dash, but he doesn't want to do that. He wants to write something about the Batman because he hears stories about the Batman on TV, thinks Batman's a threat, a vigilante like a psychopath, you know. And then you have the guy Wallace Keefe who was in the beginning lost his legs. He vandalized the Superman statue by spraying painting the false god, basically sprays on it, throws something and hits a cop in the face, you know. And Clark sees this, is saddened by it. Again, why doesn't he go to the community and just talk to them? But meanwhile, in Metropolis, you have Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg, meets with Senator Finch, discuss the radioactive discovered the Indian wishing to manufacture the mineral into a deterrent against Superman and other possible known mutant humans. Finch considers this before leaving, while Lex gains the access to the Kryptonian's capital chip and the Vice General's eye. He basically does it because he convinces this guy to do it. Again, I don't like Jesse Eisenberg. Right off the way, he is like the Joker in the riddle. He's just zigzagging, zigzagging. He's got hair, which Lex is supposed to be bald. In this version, Lex is more like the Joker and the Riddler combined. It does feel like he's being Jim Carrey. Again with the hair. It looks like Jim Carrey basically with the hair from Batman Forever. I'm like, Jesse, you're not Batman. I mean, you're not Lex Luthor. I mean, you're not Jim Carrey. But he never shuts up, and he wants to get the information. So he even have a scene where they boil the body, and he gets to see the ship, and he's doing this, ridiculous and being over the top, and grabs a candy bar, or not a candy, little piece of candy, and puts it in the guy's mouth. I'm like, that was just weird. And he's just obnoxious to me. He looks like he's high on drugs, you know, throughout the movie. He's just talking, it's like that, like he's, hooked up on cocaine or something. If he was snorting that behind the scenes, I don't know. But I'm like, what the hell did you write this Luthor into? Did Snyder tell freaking Jesse Eisenberg to do that? You know, Again, to me, if I was behind the scenes of this movie, if I saw to me, that's not Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is not meant to have like the Joker. Yeah, Lex is a psychopath, but he's more calm and I mean, bald headed, and that's just not Lex Luthor. Now, if it was me telling Jesse Eisenberg behind the scenes him acting like that, I would have come over there and say, "Is he doing that? Acting like a cartoon? You know, it's not Lex Luthor." Mm. I literally just want to slap him every time I see him on the damn screen in this film. Luthor tries to persuade Lieutenant Joan to eventually allow him to import the mineral, but she declines. You know, Lex Luthor threatens her. He said, "The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming." Well, the good thing they did about it. I do like his theme though, by Hans Zimmer and Joe. Yeah, they do give Lex a good theme, but that's about it. And he's talking about Granny's peach tea or whatever, which come to later play. Stupid dialogue. You know, he's like he's like devils don't come from the ground. They come from the sky. Gods do. Meanwhile, Batman is investigating. Bruce is investigating the White Portuguese. It's a dirty bomb to Gotham City. Bruce learns that Russian man named Antoine may have information on regarding the White Portuguese. He doesn't learn nothing. He later attends an underground fight club where he meets Kanaski. He and Bruce have a brief conversation, which allows Bruce to safely clone Kanaski's phone and figures out that he works for Lex Luthor. It is nice to see him doing some investigating, though, which is Batman would do. He wants to break in Luthor's house as Batman, but he's like, that's unnecessary because Luthor's invited him to a fundraiser event. Clark is over to the Daily Planet. He says, "Who's that?" And that's the Bruce Wayne. And then you see Gal Gadot, in a red dress as well. Yeah, she looks gorgeous. Not gonna complain, but she has her reasons for being there. She later tells Bruce that she's there for pictures, but well, first Bruce is coming out for an intercom, and Superman. Well, Clark can hear it because again, Superman has super hearing, so he can hear it. And he goes to get this information, and Mercy, played by the woman from the Wolverine, comes and tries to talk to him. Says, "Mr. Wayne, what are you doing down here?" He's like, "I was just trying to go to the bathroom." I'm like, "Oh, I like your shoes." Trying to feel nice. I'm like, "All right, I got the information." Tries to walk away. Him and he's like, "Clark Kent for Daily Planet." He writes these stories. You know, they just have a brief conversation. Lex introduces himself to them. Lex meets them. They just talk. You know, and he's like, this Batman vigilante, he's crazy. He's hurting people. Would you agree? And then he says, "Well, Superman about people flying in the sky and he can hurt people and he can, if you want to, burn a lot of people down. If you wanted to, kill a lot of people with his heat vision." Most people would disagree with your opinion. Some would, and some wouldn't. But then Bruce says he's Yogi Dot tries to follow her, but she gets away in her car and drives off real fast. And when he's like, "I got the information," so it's downloaded, and Clark can hear that. You know, oh, but the data was stolen by Diana. I forgot to mention that. The world debates about Superman, but Superman goes to Clark as Superman goes to save a little girl. And I like the music score there, and these people are touching him like almost. That scene was really good. And then him saving people on the shuttle from being blown up, saving people from flood. So he does save some people, and some people say that yes, he does, and he does smile half the time. I want to see more of a smile, more of a brighter Superman, and Superman's depressed. I'm like, well, the world doesn't be like, but I do like it's like Clark, the world might need you to be this or that, but the world doesn't need you to be Superman. You just gotta be who you want to be. Something like that. That was good. I thought Diana Lane did real good. Yeah, and she should have expressed him more to, you need to go speak to community, you know, speak for yourself. Eventually Jonathan and Martha would understand, that one day he's gonna have to introduce himself to the world, reveal himself as Superman. Yeah, yeah. But meanwhile, Bruce and Diana, they meet again. Like I said, she brought it because she believes Lex Luthor has a photo of her. She gives it though back to Bruce, and he takes it to the Batcave to decrypt. Bruce then falls asleep, and I'm not kidding. He has a post-apocalyptic dream. This is where they add in, you know, the Injustice story where Superman, is getting this kryptonite. Batman's like got this jacket on, armor kind of suit on, and he goes, he finds that he's been betrayed. And I kind of laughed when he said, he uses this robot kind of voice. It sounds laughable with Christian Bell's. It doesn't annoy me, but it can be a little irritating with a robot voice at the time. Like, why do you need that? You know, just change your demeanor as Bruce Wayne. You don't need to change your voice. Batman is a man of few words half the time anyway, to be honest. Only speaks me nothing, but in a darker voice. Like Kevin Conroy, he was able to change the voices of Bruce Wayne and Batman. But anyway, he's fighting with this, and you say these are parademons. Yes, parademons, including that Darkseid might be involved, and Superman might be helping him. Batman gets tied up. Superman comes, flies down. They shove down him. And Superman uses heat vision, kills these two guys. Takes Batman's mask off. It's like she was my world. You assume we're talking about Lois, and we're talking about the world. I mean, well, the Injustice story where Lois gets killed and Superman turns evil by killing Lex. And he rips Clark's heart. Clark wakes up. I mean, screws to sleep and wakes up. And Flash, Ezra Miller comes to him. He's like, Clark, it's Lois. Lois is the key. Lois is the key. Oh, I'm too soon. Oh, oh, oh. You need to get a haircut at Great Clips. No, I'm just kidding. Whatever he said. And honestly, that just didn't make any sense. That was just, that scene was stupid. Why are we forcing the injustice stories? Why is Barry running from the Flash? I'm like, we're going too fast here. He's the pun intended there. But it would kind of be like in the first Iron Man movie if Quicksilver ran back to the past and was telling Tony, "You're going to create Ultron. All this stuff's going to happen." If somebody, I can't think of the characters that time travel, but well, they do in Marvel. But with them time travel in the first Iron Man movie, and just said something, it would just be random and out of nowhere. This just randomly happens. I'm like, why did you do this? You know, tell Superman that he was always right. He's like, and he tells him, find us, Bruce, help us. The driver then finishes decrypting, and Bruce knows that the white project, it's not a man, but it's a delivery, it's a ship for tonight to Lex Luthor. He tells us to Alfred, and we get a cool chase car scene where Batman is watching them. Batman, like, tags the car, chasing it with the Batmobile. But the Batmobile here looks cool, and I thought that was a pretty good chase. I like the Batmobile more than I do think it's better than the Tumbler, though. I don't call that Batmobile. I thought it's better than the Bat Tank. That's what I call it. Yeah. It's a good Batmobile, but I've always liked the one in the Batman better too. But anyway, he uses like a grope, not like a grapple, kind of like a rope that he shoots a car, like from a junkyard. Shoots at these guys, knocks them down, knocks some bad guys out. Jumps out, but Superman's there. Superman just stands there, and he can't. He just runs, right hit Superman, but doesn't enter because Superman won't hurt him. But Superman flies him, breaks the door, and he's like, "Next time the light your light shines in the sky, don't come to it. Don't bother. Consider this a warning. Consider this a mercy giving." It's like Batman's like, "Tell me something. Do you bleed?" And Superman just looks at him and just ignores him and flies away. He's like, "You will." Bruce is trying to get the kryptonite, but anyway, it ends up in Lex's hands. And Batman believes that he's using kryptonite to kill Superman if he turns evil, that he could destroy the world. Batman tries to plead, Alfred tries to plead with Bruce that Superman's not the enemy, but Bruce ignores him. And I like the scene where he has a nightmare of going to his mother's grave, Cransberry's mother's, and see blood come from and like a giant bat. Even though that's bad CGI, in my opinion, but that was still interesting and pretty scary, tense scene. Meanwhile, the Lois researchers, oh yeah, she's like researching the her bullet, questioning some people about it. With this general, he really gives her the identity of the bullet's manufacturer. Who's at the special parts up around made by Lex Luthor. She's like Lex Luthor. Superman attends the hearing when the man comes up to and Lex Luthor's able to help the guy out. But you find out it's a bomb in there when they're gonna bring Superman to the community or the hearing or whatever. Superman just she looks at this water. He says Granny's peach tea and Lex Luthor, and all these people die in explosions. Superman's like, even though Superman, you could have done it a little faster or done the whole spin around the world thing. Yeah. Later that night, though, Lex comes back riding on a motorcycle and sees that Batman stole the kryptonite. He actually smiles about it because in a way he wants he wants Batman to kill Superman. Superman meets Lois at a hotel and limits on his fears at the bombing in his role as Superman. She tries to convince that he must remain a symbol of hope for the people of Earth. And Superman says it's only a little, it's just a Kansas form dream of Superman's or whatever. I'm like, this Superman, I like Kenny Reveal the Virgin Man, but this movie, he's just too depressing. He's just depressing. He's sad all the time. I don't need to see a depressed Superman. It just doesn't work for me. Yeah. He flies away, and Lex goes into the ship. He uses the fingerprints of Zod by having to get his body into this water to learn everything about Krypton. Yeah, Bruce Wayne begins physically training, which I do like that. That was pretty cool. Him training. Oh, sorry about the video man messing up. He's training, prepare for his fight against Superman, Raccoon and the Kryptonite, and these two grass grenades. He's like this type of spear. He's these guns that when he puts in there his kryptonite bullets. He looks at this data. He finds out Wonder Woman in 1980, a 1918 photograph of her. Locked in his self-inspired exile, he sees a vision of his father saying, about how he worked and is like about he's like, I miss you, son. I was like, I miss you too, Dad. And then golly, so sorry about the video messing up like this. Bruce recalls though when his father sat him down next to the Wayne family shield and developed talking about the first generation of Wayne family that son built and skins to French traders. Yeah, so they became billionaires, which was interesting. And so Martha, she like works at a house, not a house, but like a diner. She goes back to take out trash out. She gets kidnapped by Antoine and his men, brought to Gotham. Batman prepares his weapons against Superman. Shines back to him, so that's when he's got the cool bat suit on. Batman Returns. Yeah. Lex watches from across the Lexorb Tower. Anton also kidnaps Lois Lane, delivers her to Lex. The Lex is like, and he'll save you when he's just going off, bantering on. She's like, you're a psychopath. He tries to push her off to her death, but Superman comes up. He's like, he's like, I'm gonna break you, which is more you deserve. I'm gonna take you in easy. He's like, well, hello, Clark Kent. And he's like, you can take me in, but then you have to worry about her. I'm like, Lois is safe on the ground. He's like, I'm not talking about her. Every every man's love is for his mother. And Superman, I do like the part where, he gets mad and Superman gets mad, Hickory gets mad, and he's like, where is she? This he vision's like, you kill me. She dies, you fly away, she dies. You have to kill the bat. Black versus blue, day versus night. Yeah. And it's like, he has to kill Batman in 30 minutes. Martha Kent would die by fire because they put a bomb in there. Dad never sees an email from Bruce showing him. He sees pictures of Barry Allen saving a guy from getting robbed. Or Arthur Curry, like him by the trident, hitting it in a camera in the water. Silas Stone using a mother box to resurrect his son, Victor Stone, who becomes cyborg. Lois returns to Daily Planet. She rides a helicopter straight for the bat signal and ends up stopping their fight. Superman and Batman confront each other finally. He's like, Bruce, I need your help. And they start fighting. He plants these traps, like these vibrations, but Superman hits it off. And Batman pushes him. He's got these guns on him, but Superman uses heat vision. And they fight. He's like, if you want to, I could have you dead already. And they fight. He's able to use the kryptonite against Superman. Or Superman, it's a good fight for most of the part. But Superman, I think should have, like maneuvered like zigzag real quick. Because he's Superman, he'd be able to move sideways fast and stuff. Superman doesn't. He just gets shot. And Batman gives an ass whooping and said, Superman does come back though, when he gets his strength back, fights him back. Batman grabs the wicked Superman and drags him over to the kryptonite sphere. He's like, my parents taught me this, and he kind of like drags him around, gives him a beating, and is like this. He's like, they're going to kill my mother, Martha. You have to save Martha. He's like, why'd you say that name? He thinks of his mother. Why'd you say Martha? And then people laugh at that. But I can see Bruce's pain in his eyes that he lost his mom. He didn't save his mom. Yeah. Lois arrives and says Martha is his mother's name. Batman comes to his senses, realizing Superman is not a threat to humanity, and is foolish in fighting him. Superman and Lois explain the situation to Batman. He promises to rescue Martha, which he does. And I do like the warehouse scene that he's flying the Batwing, jumps in there, and it's a pretty awesome fight. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed the warehouse scene. There's a scene where Batman like uses the grapple on a guy, pull guy, fights some guy, some badass scenes. Batman gets stabbed, stabs the guy back. Guys don't throw kryptonite at him. Batman's able to get the kryptonite back at the guy. Kicks this, uses grapple on the guy to hit this other guy with a grenade. Grenade blows up. Yeah, people will say Batman kill him. Batman doesn't kill. I'm just kidding. Well, he did his in comics and in Batman and Batman Returns, which has never bothered me. But again, that scene was well shot. I thought pretty badass. And they're gonna kill Martha, and Anton talks to Batman, shoots him dead. Hey, for a good reason. He was gonna kill Martha. He was gonna burn her alive. you know. And she's like, "You're friends with my son. I'll take visit away." Yeah. They smile at each other. And Superman flies to Lex, and we lost, but Lex like, if the Bat won't do it, then the devil will. And then he gets Doomsday. Doomsday tries to attack, and Superman actually saves Lex Luthor from getting killed. Wow. Yeah. And this is where Wonder Woman comes in. Well, Batman's using the Batwing trying to get him back to Gotham. Lois Lane, who I didn't care about her investigation, she grabs the damn spear, she throws it in the water, and now Batman says, "I need that." Doesn't tell her that, but Batman says, "I need the spear to go kill the monster because he's unkillable." Yeah. Superman tries to fly Doomsday to outer space to get rid of him, but it doesn't work. He gets more powerful when they shoot at him. Doomsday evolves, and Doomsday looks horrible. He looks like a rejected gremlin, or whatever, but he looks horrible. You know, yeah. I mean, my God. Even the Super Mario Brothers, when I'm thinking about the dinosaurs in that, the tall ones, they look pretty cool, you know. But this was bad CGI. But I do like when Wonder Woman comes up and her music is like, I thought she was with you. And that's a cool stance they do. And Wonder Woman, is fighting Superman, he gets knocked out. Well, he's gonna fight Doomsday, but then Lois tries to jump into the water, and she doesn't know what that thing. This water is so mercury, you can't see nothing. And during their fight, the caves in, and Lois can't get out, she'll die, and Superman saves her. He's like, I do like when says Lois, show my world, and he gets the kryptonite, he throws away, but she's like, sorry. But I do like that Wonder Woman is fighting Doomsday, comes out, and she's like, I like that smile on her face, like she's enjoying the fight. That was a cool moment. Superman saves himself. Well, Superman stabs with the kryptonite heart, with the kryptonite spear, stabs Doomsday. Doomsday stabs Superman in the heart, killing Doomsday and killing Superman. So Superman dies. So they go with the death of Superman here, which I didn't care about. Batman grabs Superman's body up to Wonder Woman. Lois cries. They have a funeral for Superman, and it's just too depressing. And then they talk about, he inspired me, and now we need to build a team. Lex ends up going to jail for his actions. I do like the scene where Superman's floating in space. Some good effects there. But that does remind me of Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but after his death, if you see his moment, look around you. At their funeral for Superman, and it's plays that Lois and Martha are especially upset. So Clark wanted to give this to you, and it's basically a wedding ring. He wants to marry Lois, and you see her when she's put in the dirt. You see the wedding ring on her finger, and Diana and Bruce are talking about setting up a team about the people of Cyborg and the Flash is leading the Justice League that will come out next year. And you said Superman still might be alive. Spoiler: he comes back to life in Justice League, but that's the end of Superman, the Batman vs Superman movie. Now again, let me get my final opinion on this movie. I'm not reading the quotes. I'm just too tired. There were some quotes like the "You Bleed" line, but let me get my final thoughts, and then I'll be done with this review. Okay? Like I said, I think this movie is disappointing. First of all, the story is a mess. I do like we were gonna get Batman Superman in live action, but the problem with this movie, it's just that the story is a mess. To me, they put too much into one movie. They put too much in the story. It feels like the DC's Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers especially. I do blame some of the Studio David scores writing this movie with its problems. It's very diverse of a movie. It's a movie that I think that's a mixed bag for me. That I didn't like this movie. I don't really care about this movie. The Maybe I'll watch the Ultimate Edition, but honestly, I could care less to watch it. It still may not improve anything for me, but I'm seriously considering giving it a chance. But the film itself gets boring at times, and I just didn't like the story. The story for me was just a mess of a story. You're adding too much in. They're rushing it. Batman and Superman didn't need to meet. I mean, come on, this was after Man of Steel, right? You didn't need this. You should have had Batman. They should have made Ben Affleck's Batman movie right now. They should have had a Batman movie. And this was what 2013. This came out another 2 years later, and they couldn't come with something good. You know, they should have waited for Man of Steel. I'd rather just have Man of Steel 2. And then you can have a Batman Superman movie where they team up or they're fighting for the first time. And here, though, the fight's just set up. Superman and Batman Public Enemies, that is an amazing, great movie. That's a great, even the Batman Superman movie from the 90s, that had a good story. You know, the tone of it was really good. Superman and Batman Public Enemies, a really good story. But this film, it was done poorly. Let's just set the story. I don't care that Superman is depressing in this movie. depressing. He moans too much, doesn't smile, just, oh, it's my fault. Oh, am I supposed to save humanity? Oh, I can't be Superman. Oh, I don't care. And can even sound like a dick at times. And I'm like, that's not Superman. And, you don't get to see much of Batman. I mean, the times that we do see much of Batman, cool. But honestly, I'd rather just see you have a Batman movie. And Wonder Woman, like the stories of Injustice, that had no reason to be in this movie. And then the Flash appearing, that made no sense. That just came out of nowhere. Like that felt forced. With and then the Dark Knight Returns, they had that in there too. Which the suit is cool to see. Don't get me wrong, but well, just give me a Dark Knight Returns movie then live action for 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 good sakes. I'm like, they could have done is had a Batman movie, or maybe a Wonder Woman movie next, and they could have set up these characters so differently. But this felt so rushed. Wonder Woman felt shoehorned in here. I like Gal Gadot, but she just felt shoehorned in there. Doomsday, he's just shoehorned in here too. I don't care for Doomsday. I didn't care for Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg was the worst part of this movie for me. I cannot stand him at all. He was so annoying. He's just flipping around. He's talking. I'm like, he won't shut up. Like I said, I just want to punch him every time he's on screen because I can't stand him. I mean, his Lex Luthor, not the real him. But the writing, David scores record. The writing, the story gets boring. Because it's a depressing movie. And like, Superman does at the end, you're copying the death of Superman. Superman did get killed in the comics by Doomsday, but it's just so poorly done. But I don't care. I'm not depressed. I'm just bored. Yeah, I'm like, now's not the time to be depressed. I mean, writing this, this is the second time. Here goes the second time of Superman after Man Strike, and he dies right away. I'm like, what? That just felt rushed. It didn't have much of an impact for me. The death of Superman from 2018, the 2018 animated film, that nearly made me cry when Superman died because it had more of an impact. Kind of felt like DC took their time with that one. Yeah, and the editing is cinematography. I do like the way the movie looks. I do think the editing is good, and some of the music by Hans Zimmer is really good too. I'll give it credit to that. It's just that I say this review sucks credit because I think this is just a lame, boring, depressing film half the time. That gets boring, you know, and it's just too much thrown in. Throwing in the Injustice story in there. You're trying to throw stories from the comics, like the Injustice story, which we don't need. We don't need glimpses of the future. I guess they wanted to add that to the story for why Superman wants to defeat him, but again, it's more of a setup fight, and Lex is the real enemy that they have to defeat. So it should just become Batman and Superman, Dawn of Justice. I know I can see why some people hated it. I didn't hate it, but this movie is just, I don't know if the word's mediocre to use, but it's a mediocre film. It's an average film to me. It's just a film that's very forgettable in my opinion. That yeah, it's gonna be 10 years old next year. When it does it, 10 years later, and then another 10 years, you know, it'll be 10 years this year. But then when it goes another 10 years and uh 36, I'm guessing, it'll be forgettable too. You know, I'm sorry, this film was just forgettable. Best thing about it was Ben Affleck's Batman. And some of the score by Hans Zimmer, some in the warehouse scene was good, and the chase scene was pretty good. Batman was the only interesting character in this movie. Wonder Woman, I do like Gal Gadot. She's gorgeous, and I think she does a good job, especially in the fight scenes. I like her that smile she gives, like she's enjoys fighting. But she's just shoehorned in here. I'm like, and I didn't need cameos from Flash, from Aquaman. This is just too much thrown. This is they're just throwing too much here, and it's a mess of a film. The plot's messy. The film feels like it's everywhere. You know, it feels like they're just trying to shove too much in one movie for me. You didn't need Doomsday, you didn't need Lex Luthor. You could have built this up with other movies. Now, if they would have made a Batman movie and then a Man of Steel, which would be lighter, and make a different kind of movie, if you would have took your time, like Marvel succeeded. I think they're doing this because again, Avengers came out in 2012, Avengers Day Ultron came out the year before this, and those movies made billions of dollars at the box office. They made billions of dollars at the box office. This movie made money, you know, about on a 250 or estimated 325 million dollar budget, it made 874.4 million dollars worldwide. But that's because people like me were looking forward to the film. But honestly, it was such a letdown of a movie. I don't know if an Ultimate Edition. I don't really care to see a 182-minute movie. It's just I don't care, folks. I'm sorry. I'd rather see a director's cut of Batman Forever. Or I'd rather just watch Daredevil the director's cut or the theatrical version of Daredevil over this. Hell, I'd rather watch Batman Forever the theatrical version. I'd rather watch Batman and Batman Returns. Hell, I think I'd even watch Batman and Robin over this. I'm sorry, Batman and Robin. Yeah, it's cheesy, it's campy, but I can have fun with it. It's so bad it's good. It didn't bore me, and it wasn't depressing. Well, Sarah Alfred was dying. But the thing is, even if you even hate George Clooney's Batman, at least the scenes with him and Alfred, I cared about. And that nearly made me cry when Bruce said, "I love you, man." I didn't cry once. I was, you know, but it pissed me off what they were doing though. So I'm not really that pissed. But honestly, I didn't care for this film, and I can't say nothing more about it. It's just a forgettable meh film that honestly I have no interest in watching. I don't care about the Ultimate Edition. It's just not going to do anything for me. Sorry. It's like having director cut of Superman for the Quest for Peace in a way. I don't care. I hate that movie a lot. I still say it's the worst Superman movie ever made, and yeah, and you can fix the special effects, you make a director's cut of it. I won't care. You can add extra scenes in. Not gonna care. It doesn't improve it in my opinion. You know, in this movie, it was just a letdown of a film. So I'm not ready for this film. I'm gonna give Batman vs Dawn justice. So I like Ben Affleck's Batman, some of the in the warehouse scene and the chase scene. That was good. I thought some of the music was good. The editing and cinematography is real nice too. Some music by John G. LX and Hans Zimmer was really good. Yeah, and it was cool to see Gal Gadot was good as Wonder Woman. She was just shoehorned in there, and I didn't care for Superman dying. And it's a mess of a movie. It's just a very messy film. Yeah. So anyway, that's my final thoughts and opinion on this movie. So guys, my rating for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I'm gonna give this film 2 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down for Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. But I do give them all a thumbs up for Ben Affleck, who I thought did a good job. And I personally think this should have been a Batman movie. It would have been more interesting. They could have done a lot more. He could have had a Batman film. We're seeing him in the Superman. I'd rather just have a Batman film. That's what they should have done. Mm-hmm. Or but I think DC Warner Brothers rushed because they're trying to be like Marvel. They're trying to catch up with Marvel, and they're shoehorning things in. Yeah, and that's why we're getting James Gunn. That's why these films don't happen no more because it does feel like they rush these movies. You know. But don't get me wrong, I do some of the I do enjoy some of the DCU movies. You will see more positive reviews. This is more of a negative review or of the film, positive reviews. But anyway, once again, my rating for this film is 2 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down, which means it's just not a very good movie. It's just a letdown film. It's not an awful movie, but it's a very much of a letdown of a film. Yeah, it's just a forgettable film in my opinion. Yeah. But anyway, guys, tell me in the comments down below. What do you think of Batman vs. v Superman in your opinion? Who's your favorite actor to play Batman? And who's your least favorite actor to play Batman? And who's your favorite actor to play Superman? And least favorite. And do you like Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman movies? And do you prefer her or Linda Carter? Just tell me, guys, in the comments down below. What do you think of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice? Do you have any of the films, DCU movies that you do like? And what are your favorite DC movies, live action or animated? Tell me in the comments down below, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think about Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice down below. Did you like it or do you hate it? And stay tuned, guys, for my next review tomorrow, hopefully. Next 26th review. This is another DC review. This is DC animated, part of the DC original movie verse. That is Justice League versus Teen Titans. So this will be next. Justice League versus Teen Titans. Yeah. This will be my next review. Stay tuned for that. And guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of Batman vs Superman in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And thanks for watching. And have you seen the Ultimate Edition? And if you recommend it, okay, I'll check it out. But I don't know if it'll prove my opinion of it. I don't know if it'll change my opinion on it. Yeah. I mean, did with Daredevil, but Daredevil came out 2003. But anyway, going on. My next review, stay tuned for the next 2010 era superheroes, the next 2016 superhero review. That is Justice League versus Teen Titans, which will be tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you later. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye bye.